Welcome back to Radio Entrepreneurs. I'm Jonathan Freedman. Our next guest is Laura Boehner, president and co-founder of The Healing Rose. Welcome to Radio Entrepreneurs.
Thank you, Jonathan. I'm so grateful to be here.
So you've got this wonderfully fascinating story and product list. Tell us a little bit about your company and how you got started.
Sure. So we're The Healing Rose. We're out of Newburyport, Massachusetts. We handcraft organic CBD infused body care and extracts and oils. And I got started actually, I've wanted to be a cannabis entrepreneur since probably 2013, when I really realized there was going to be an industry. I'm actually a medical cannabis patient, so really passionate about the plant. And I really got started because in the summer of 2016, I redislocated my kneecap, which I had, it hurts a lot. I originally did it in a basketball injury in high school. So I've done it 4 times, a lot of fun. And
I've done shoulders. You have me beat. The knee sounds even more painful than shoulder. So
yeah, it's quite shocking when it happens. Thankfully, 2016 was the last time. So I've been about 5 years, no knee dislocation. But the last time I did it, I actually had a cannabis infused solve, which is kind of just like a thicker cream that had cannabis, essential oils and herbs infused into it. And when I applied it to my knee, it was kind of like that light bulb moment. I mean, it instantly took away my pain. It changed my inflammation. When I would use it, my bruising would actually like change a whole shade overnight. So it was just kind of like, oh my gosh, why aren't these products everywhere? I've always wanted to be an entrepreneur since I was like 8 years old, hustling yard sales and all these different things. I would like sell candy to my friends in the neighborhood or teach roller skating lessons when I was a little kid. So
wow,
it's always been my
so a real entrepreneur right out of the gates.
Yeah, it's
fabulous.
always been my dream. It's always been my dream. So I was always kind of looking for that moment and realizing that topicals weren't really mainstream in the cannabis and hemp space. So I dove into the world of organic skin formulation with my partner and my fiance. So we spent about 4 to 6 months really refining the products, learning how to formulate safe, effective products for people, learning all about the ingredients. And then we launched at the end of 2016 to the world. And since then, so about a little under 5 years, we're about in, I think I want to say 160 different locations in 25 states. Yeah, and it's all been
congratulations. That's a great run and a great first foray into entrepreneurship. And yeah, it sounds like you got a lot of energy and passion for what it is that you're doing. And it sounds like even perhaps not more importantly, but just as importantly, your product has incredible efficacy. So I think that's one of those things that people are always looking for. Help us how you navigated early on when and it may still not be a very regulated industry. I think that's some of the rub against it. So no pun intended, but the concern that, there's a lot of people that are putting, non-efficacious product that really doesn't do a lot out there. So how do you battle that? How did you develop your formulations and all of that? So.
Yeah, that's a great question. I like to refer to it as the Wild West sometimes out here in the hemp space. So since the beginning, we've always committed to using 100% certified organic ingredients whenever possible. So every carrier oil, essential oil, herb, butterwax is USDA certified organic. And that's actually how we recently got our certification through the USDA for our facility and select products. And then we've also done really extensive third-party lab testing since day one. Thankfully, it is required now by the Department of Agriculture here in Massachusetts to do lab testing. But over the years, we've probably spent close to 6 figures on extract testing, finished product testing, making sure we're creating safe products, that we're using safe starting extracts with hemp that's totally pesticide-free, heavy metal-free, mycotoxin-free, everything that we can. We use the purest organically grown hemp extracts. And it's just really educating the consumer. I'd say in the early days, it was tough because a lot of people were skeptical of CBD in general. So we did a lot of events, trade shows, both cannabis and non-cannabis ones, and just getting out there, meeting people, having them try the products, kind of explaining our story. And I think we really helped change the stigma locally and in some ways nationally too, about CBD. So it's definitely been quite the journey, and consumers are definitely more educated nowadays about the products, which is helpful.
So have you found that the tide has changed in terms of mainstream medical acceptance? I know there's a lot of MDs who are now, prescribe hemp or CBD or, cannabis for pain. I was actually, when I was in the hospital with this latest injury, I had a doctor that said to me, it's coming for psilocybin, whatever the pronunciation, mushroom.
Of course.
It's coming for shrooms soon. He said, you're going to see it in the next couple of years for pain. And that's really at the forefront. It's sort of probably where cannabis was a decade ago, maybe. But are you starting to see a little more mainstream acceptance, people who are coming to you or consumers? And I don't know how much interaction you have with consumers, but people who say, oh, my doctor recommended I should try something because, I can't take ibuprofen indefinitely, things of that nature.
Yeah, I'd say at least once a week now, we have consumers saying, oh, my doctor recommended me to you guys. Or if anyone's on any kind of medication or looking to use it on their daily wellness routine, we always tell them, check with your doctor first. And they always come back and say, my doctor cleared it. I'm so excited to try it. And I think it's a lot safer than taking things that are going to affect your liver and other systems in your body when you're taking pharmaceuticals or over-the-counter medication that over time can really have negative impacts on your body. Side effects are really limited, especially with topicals. It doesn't even actually get into your bloodstream, the CBD itself. So it's definitely really refreshing, and it always makes us really happy when we hear a medical professional recommended our brand specifically. And we actually do have certain doctors and chiropractors and things like that actually carry us and offer our products directly in their offices, which always is really great too.
Fabulous. So you mentioned, I think you said about 170 outlets available. Does that run the gamut from, small boutique type stores to larger pharmacy and or general merchandise type stores? Where can your products be found?
Yeah, so we definitely focus a lot on smaller boutique places. Actually, recently in Massachusetts, we're able to sell into dispensaries, finally, as of 2 months ago, too. So you can find us in a lot of dispensaries now in Massachusetts. But we do focus a lot on small, like CBD type boutique places. We are in independently owned pharmacies, grocery stores that are more focused on natural products and organic products. Our products do really well there. And then there's a lot of massage and spas that actually carry us and offer CBD massages, which we do really well in there. CBD and massage are really like two very symbiotic things together. When you work the CBD into the endocannabinoid system receptors in our peripheral nervous system, it provides like a whole nother level of relief. So that's kind of been a huge focus of ours in the past. But yeah, looking forward, we've really been focusing a lot actually on dispensaries since we're able to get into that market now, which has been huge for us.
And I would imagine with just the growth in number of dispensaries that's a well on tap market. And, as the wave, so to speak, happens across the country, opening up even more and more outlets for your product.
Yeah, in Massachusetts, it's crazy how many licenses they're actually handing out now. I swear to God, every day I see someone opening a new store, and it's really amazing to see the expansion. And then we're also in several Maine dispensaries as well, which we love. My partners actually grew up in Maine, so we love Maine too.
It's really fascinating to me, to see an industry and, people liken it to the retail alcohol industry in a lot of towns. I think Massachusetts has required it to, or certain towns have required you to peg it to the number of alcohol retailers in the town. And, I'm not a genius, but it seems to me that there's going to be a point of market saturation prior to all of them being able to compete effectively in a town, just because, the demand is just not going to be there with so many outlets. Yes. So I'm a little concerned about that. It seems as though everybody's jumping in. I know there's a lot of investment, a lot of costs, so hopefully people won't be losing their shirt, so to speak, over it.
Yeah,
because I think,
definitely.
as you said, everyone thinks that, huge upside, 60% of the people voted for it. Everybody's going to be using it. Well, it takes a lot of capital to get off the ground, as you're well aware. And then, you got to sustain it somehow. You got to make sure that people come back time and time again. So your products need to be, there's a big push there. So I'm just concerned that we're gonna reach that wall quickly, but hopefully not for you guys. And as laws start to change. So are you required? You mentioned that your product is available in, and I thought 25 or so states. You said?
Yes. Yep.
Now, are those all states that now have medical marijuana, or they have open consumer laws as well?
No, as long as CBD is allowed to be sold, since that's from hemp, it allows us to be a nationally available brand, where if it was from cannabis, we'd have to stay in the state that the cannabis is grown and manufactured in. Okay. So it allows us to sell into all those different states for the last, 4.5 years or so. which gives us a huge advantage. I mean, I like to call us a cannabis company, but it is from hemp. But cannabis is hemp, actually. They're just different strains. The hemp we use is low THC, but it looks exactly the same as high THC flower for the most part. But yeah, no, the Department of Agriculture here in Massachusetts actually licenses us. So that's what gives us the right to be able to manufacture hemp products and sell them.
So if people were interested in, are interested, and I'm glad to hear that they are very interested in your product, what would you recommend as a way to get started? And I know it probably varies depending on what you're trying to accomplish and what your needs are, but can you identify one or two categories or three categories that you think are, sort of your go-to start with this product?
Yeah, for sure. I can start with our number one best-selling product overall is actually our Lemon Ginger 4X Herbal Solve. It has 1,200 milligrams of CBD in our 2.25 ounce. It's going to be our strongest topical. We use a lot of great herbs and essential oils and a little bit of menthol in there. So for your shoulder, that's what I would go for. It's also probably going to be the most effective, most quickly feeling and acting product that we carry. We also do offer sublingual oils. So we do have a CBD oil if you were looking for a systemic relief that you can put underneath your tongue or in a drink, or obviously use topically as well. And that's a really great option for anyone looking for like maybe anxiety help or sleep support, things like that. And then we also do have bath soaks that I think have recently become crazy popular for us. Really good for using in your bath. They help for all over relief, relaxation. If you have like feet swelling or your legs really are killing you, if you're really active all day, it can really provide quick relief and a really great experience, and leaves your skin nice and hydrated as well. So that's an added bonus.
Excellent. Sounds like a lot of wonderful benefits, and it sounds like as they say, almost anybody can be a customer of yours. So that's great to hear.
Yeah, I would say the average customer of ours actually is not cannabis consumers, but people that are older and dealing with things every single day that give them aches, soreness, and really kind of opening the world to people that cannabis can be used and not get you high. So that's like a really cool part of our products, is there's no psychoactive effects.
I can give you the equation. Gray hair equals pain.
Yeah.
There's sort of a correlation I'm finding there, and it was interesting to hear. I know topical Simone Biles in the Olympics and has some injuries, but she recently said that the one thing that's changed between I guess the ripe old age of 23 and 18 or 19 the last time was the pain is a constant now.
I can only imagine at that level. Oh my gosh.
Absolutely. But I think that's life. The more, like anything, the more wear you put on the body, the more the pain's going to be there. So
it's true.
But you guys seem to have developed a nice way to combat that, and a nice organic and natural way to do so. So tell us, Laura, if you will, if the best place or best way for people to reach out to you, what's the best way for them to find you, learn more about your products, or I believe you also have e-commerce on your website if people want to purchase directly from you?
Yeah, absolutely. So you can go to the Healing Rose Co. So that's the healingroseco.com. We do obviously ship everywhere in the United States. And there's always at least a 10% off coupon code on the top to take advantage of. Obviously, we're in several stores as well. If you're on Instagram, you can find us the Healing Rose _. If you're on LinkedIn, you can just look up my name, Laura Boehner. I'm the only one on there. So that makes it really, really easy to find me and connect with me and send me a message if you'd like. And then we're also on Facebook, the Healing Rose Boston. You can find us there too.
Excellent. Our guest has been Laura Boehner, president and co-founder of the Healing Rose. It's been a real pleasure having you on Radio Entrepreneurs.
Thank you so much, Jonathan. I really appreciate it.
Excellent. And we'll be right back with another segment on Radio Entrepreneurs.